Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Annalisa and this is going to be another video game review, this time for Strange Horticulture. This is an indie game that I found quite a while ago and put on my wish list so that it would notify me when it went on sale. And when it went on sale, I think 50% off down to $6, I was like, yes, I'm gonna get it now. This is a game where you are a horticulturalist. So you have a shop called Strange Horticulture where you have little plants on shelves at the top of the screen, and you have to figure out what the plants are because you inherited this shop from your uncle and you were left with a book describing the plants, but none of the plants are labeled. Fortunately, the descriptions are pretty good and there's always enough information in the book to identify, using also the process of elimination of what plants you've already identified and other information that you may get from the person asking for a plant, what the plant is. And that's really fun for me. I fantasize about and make up stories about being a horticulturalist or an herbalist or a healer who mainly uses plants not in their heavily reduced form like how aspirin came from willow bark, but more like directly drinking the willow bark tea type situation. I'm very into it. And so that's what initially drew me to the game, and that's very much what the game is about. So I like that a lot. In the little book that helps you identify the plants, it'll also say what they are supposed to do. So if they help with pain, or this is also a fantasy world, so they might help you to open your third eye a little bit better, or might give you super strength. And of course, some of them are poisonous and others are an antidote to that poison. So as you progress through the game, every day you have people coming in asking for some kind of plant to help with their mundane or magical problems, and you gradually start to hear about bad things happening nearby. You have to figure out what you're going to do about that. And mainly your choices are you going to give this person a plant that helps them or a plant that harms them? And that's really fun. And there's a bit of a tree of choices that gets you to different endings. And just so you know, I got to what I consider the best ending first time without any guidance. So I like that it made me feel smart. Every night after you close your shop, you get a new card that has a clue as where to find another plant on the map. And you also sometimes get clues for new plants from people who come into your shop during the day. And some of them are really easy, but some of them are more coded. So there's a code ring that you have to figure out how to use, and there's some stuff you have to figure out what to do in what order, and sort of little riddles to solve. And so that put me right back into my Del Toro Quest days. There are a lot of riddles and ciphers in that series, I assume because the author really likes them, and some of them were very similar to puzzles that I had solved in or had learned how to solve in books I've read in the past, including the Del Toro series. So that was fun to rediscover that I remembered that kind of thing. I love the atmosphere. Every once in a while there's a thunderstorm. A lot of times it's raining, and it's always at least cloudy outside your shop. There are not really sunny, cheerful days going on right now. And you also have a cat, and you can pet the cat. And the cat will get startled by your dinging the bell to bring in the next customer every time, unless you pet him right before, and then he'll be distracted. And so I got into a rhythm of petting the cat every time I wanted to get a new customer. So that was fun. So I liked all of the parts of the gameplay, which is kind of rare because in a lot of games there's a lot of different parts, and some of them you're going to enjoy and some of them are not going to be to your taste, but all of this was to my taste. I liked identifying the plants, I liked solving the puzzles, I liked reading the little stories of the dialogue of people who came in asking for your help, and I also liked the overarching story of the bad, creepy things happening where you had to figure out what choices you're going to make, as well as the atmosphere of the kind of dark and gloomy, and you're all tucked up in your shop identifying your plants. So I think it's great for this time of year as well. And for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it very much suits the fall vibes. And it saves automatically, but it also has a load feature where you can go back to whichever day you want to in a playthrough, start from there. So if you made a decision about what plant to give someone at some point, you can go back to that day and start from there to go down a different branch of the choice tree. It also has a hint function, which I found very helpful. I have not completed a playthrough without the hint function yet. There's a few times it's like, have you noticed that this thing is here? And it's like, no, I didn't notice that. I'm not a great noticer of things, even when I'm playing a game that is all about puzzles. So I rate this game 5 out of 5 stars, and if you have similar tastes to me in this area, then I hope you'll check it out and enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!